Hello, I'm Pietro Morandini and I'm an advisor for the Italian Minister of Innovation, Technology and Digitalization. Thank you so much for having me today. It's with great pleasure that I'm about to walk you through our experience in the development of contact tracing technology solutions and our contact tracing app, Immuni. I will give you an overview of the context and the framework in which we developed the contact tracing app and the learnings that we took out of it. I would like to start with a brief overview of what happened in Italy in the last few months. On January 30th, the Italian government suspended all flights from and to China and declared a state of emergency. In the month of February, 11 municipalities in northern Italy were identified as main clusters of the coronavirus, and they were placed under quarantine. On March 8th, our Prime Minister, Giuseppe Conte, expanded the quarantine to the whole region of Lombardy, and consequently in the following days to the whole country, placing more than 60 million people under lockdown. On March 11th, the government also shut down all commercial activities except for essential services. In this dramatic context, almost 30,000 people died in Italy due to COVID-19. And the government had to take actions and look for solutions to repair economies and allow people to go back to their normal lives. This is also very important in the context of the world as it develops. New pandemics may become even more dangerous than the current one, and we need to develop tools to make sure that we're prepared for them. In this challenging context, the contribution of technology and innovation is decisive. And Immuni is just an example of how these tools and with the help of the Italian government and technological companies can help us fight the virus and accelerate the return to everyday life. Our country has been facing an emergency for which the whole world was not prepared. And for these reasons, we had to face all possible obstacles to look for solution in order to prevent, diagnose, treat, and monitor this virus. For this purpose, the government called onto private companies, universities, institutions, and research centers to contribute and contain the coronavirus with innovation through innovative tools. The project was a joint initiative by the Minister of Technological Innovation, Paola Pisano, the Minister of Economic Development, and the Minister for University and Research, together with Invitalia, which is a private company that supported and structured the whole intervention. And thanks to the help of the Extraordinary Commissioner for the Coronavirus Emergency, Domenico Arcuri, in a few days we received almost 2,000 proposals with more than 300 solutions pertaining just to contact tracing apps. On March 31st, the Italian Task Force for the Use of Data against COVID-19 was created, gathering 75 among virologists, data scientists, big data, and AI experts. The task force was in charge of evaluating the candidates and choose the two solutions out of which Immuni was the most advanced and ready to be deployed. Immuni was developed by Bending Spoons, which is a Milan-based startup, and takes advantage of the framework that Apple and Google put together by joining forces for the very first time, um, and gathered around them thousands and thousands of developers to create a framework on OS systems and functionalities that were able to integrate the need for contract tracing solutions. The new versions of Google's and Apple's operating systems were developed in record time and were available for users already on May 20th. On June 1st, our app was re-engineered to work with new APIs and was ready in 5 languages. It's also the first in the world in terms of contact tracing app to receive a 5 to 5 rating according to the MIT review. The app is based on an open source license code and is available on GitHub for the coding community to help better it, and also for other countries. Immuni is a technological solution that is focused on the smartphone. In fact, it's a smartphone app, and it can help us fight COVID-19 through 3 main points. The first is that the app aims to notify users that are at risk of carrying the virus as early as possible, even when they are asymptomatic. The users can also isolate themselves to avoid infecting others as soon as they receive a notification. And this minimizes the spread of the virus while speeding up a return to the normal life for most people. By being notified also, people can seek medical advice and lower the risk of serious health problems. So these are the 3 main pillars that we believe are at the core of our app. Immuni is designed to address the current crisis, but also aims to be ready in addressing similar threats that may arise in the future. So we built this app taking into account 6 key principles. The first one is utility. The app needs to be useful. It needs to be able to notify as many people as possible who are at substantial risk of being exposed to the virus. The second one is accessibility. It needs to be easy to navigate, easy to access, easy to download, to maximize the number of possible users who may want to use it. This principle takes into account decision-making across the board of the app, from user experience to design to localization to the technology that has been used. Accuracy. Immuni aims to notify only people who are at substantial risk of having contracted the virus. This allows to build trust on users that receive a notification, and also helps not to place too much of a burden on the National Healthcare Service. Privacy is also a very important pillar. Immuni protects the user's privacy while remaining effective. Under the strict privacy criteria that we used, the app does not ask for the user's email address or phone number or gender or localization. Scalability. Immuni needs to be widely adopted throughout the country. This needs to be taken into account in the development of the app in order not to burden too much the National Healthcare Service that may be required to act upon a large number of users that receive the notification. The last one is transparency. everybody should be able to access the documentation describing the functioning of the app, as well as the code that is open source, and it allows users to verify that the app actually works as it's being described. Alongside with this six key principles, I think there are noteworthy mentions. For example, the fact that the app does provide some analytics for epidemiological use to the National Healthcare Service. For example, the number of people that have contracted, that have received a notification, and this allows medical services to get to pace the spread of the virus and understand its pattern. As of today, we've reached 4.9 million users that represent 13% of Italians, according to the University of Pavia. Even though this is a big number for us, we are aware that and according to our projections, this number could have been much higher, if not for some key issues that we encountered on the political side and on the Markham strategy side. The big key issues were the abundance of fake news regarding the functioning and the privacy criteria of the app, a general lack of political unity to actually promote the app and across political parties, and lack of incentives apart from the contact tracing service within the app. In terms of Markham strategy issues, we had to deal with a lack of a dedicated Markham budget because the whole project was pro bono. So especially on the social media and influencers side, we had a resistance in taking part of the campaign without any budget. And also on the timing side, the first wave was actually, so when the app was launched at the beginning of June, it was actually a very good moment to create a momentum on the app, and in that sense we could have concentrated more efforts on the very beginning of the launch of the app. And another key issue that we encountered was the non-homogeneous response that regional health services were giving to app users. There was not coherent and unique approach to people who were notified by the app, and in this sense, there was not an express willingness to provide with tests and test all the users that receive the app in a rapid way. And because of this, we think these are the key issues that actually slow down the download of the app. So this is our takeouts on the experience we had on the Mooney app. We remain at your disposition for any question you may have, and like to thank you for your attention, your time, and have a great day.